Hello guys and welcome back. Now let's continue. So now let's make everything work here from the top all the way up to the bottom. Some of the things we have already put and then some we'll put now. Okay, so this changing of private to public we have done. Let's also put the function. Let's start with that button which is here, which is hidden now because we don't have any users are waiting for approval. Okay, now we are going to show it so that we put the functions there. All right, so what we need to do is when we click on that button, it should take us to the screen where there is a list of people awaiting approval, and then if we are an admin we can approve them to come to the group. Okay, so for that we need to add another test user. So let's bring up another device. So now here, as you know that we only have 2 users in our application. Okay, these, so we need to add more test users. So for that, in this other device I'm going to profile, and then we need to later on come back to the profile to do a proper UI here. Okay, so now let's go to settings and then let's log out and create another test user. So let's click here. So you can see that here we are still using that old dialog. You guys can change this and put that animated one. You know how to do that. So now I'm going to log out. Now that we are logged out, let's create another test user. But before we do that, we need to come to our Firestore under authentication. Then let's minimize. We have just these 2 users. Let's go to sign in methods, and then let's edit this phone number. Let's edit, then option here. Now down here we only have these test users. Let's add another one. So this one I'm gonna name let's do 260. I'm gonna 1 2 3 4 5 6. I'm going to put 7 twice and then 8. If I haven't created this one already, yeah, I did not. Now here let's put our password, test password, and then click add. So that's another user added. Now we can go back to the storage and then let's bring up our emulator. Let's log in with create an account with the new user that we have created, 77 and then 8. Alright, we need to put a 0 there. Yeah. Alright, now that is done, let's go on ahead and create the user. Let's put our password. So you can see that we need to handle this in the dark theme. We can't see anything here. All right, so you need to go back to the OTP screen and then put proper colors in the dark theme. Okay, so now here let's see if we have anything in our gallery. Of course we don't have, so let's use the camera. Let's take the photo. All right, I want to move it and take something like this. Yeah, so this one is going to be, let's get Buff Gamer. Let's continue. Alright, now we have another test user who doesn't have friends. There is no group. Alright, now it's time to join that group. Okay, so first let's bring this up. Let's put it like that, and then what we're gonna do is to make this group first of all, let's make it public so that this one can see it. Let's change it. Now it's public, and then we need to go to the group settings and test other things. So if we come here, we go to public, you can see this group, and then this person hasn't seen the other messages. Okay, now what I want to do before we get inside this group, let's show the group settings and put that setting that they need to request to join, so that we know that it works. Okay, so what we're gonna do is, let's quickly go in the group settings here when we click this button. Okay, so let's minimize first. Let's go back to the code, and then in the group info screen, we're in the group info screen where we are members, add members, no, settings and media, this one. Okay, so here let's navigate to the group settings thing. Okay, navigate to the it's not the group media, this is navigate to group settings screen. Okay, let's wait for Copilot. Okay, it's not doing it, so let's just go navigator dot push navigator dot of context dot push, and then here we're going to say material page route, So what's the problem here? Are we missing a bracket? Yeah, navigator.push and then group settings screen. Let's import it. Let's close it out and then let's put commas. Okay, let's put a constant keyword. Alright, now we are getting the group settings screens. Let's just see if it works. If we click here, you can see that we are coming to the group settings screen, and then everything is still working, but we are not ticked here as an admin. Okay, we should be. Why we're not? Because if we get inside here, we're not reading the group data and group admin. So once we click here, we should do it. It's reading correctly here that we are the only admin, but our name here, I mean, this should be marked as we are admin. Okay, so before we test something else, let's also fix this. Okay, so to fix this, let's go back to the here inside the group settings here in the, when we click here, before we navigate, let's just make sure that the admins are set. Okay, so first of all, let's have a check, because if we are not the admin, we don't want you to go to the group settings screens. Okay, so what we're gonna do is to have a check. If is not admin, are we getting the admin on top here? Okay, so we need to pass it as well. So let's pass required this dot group model. We know we need to pass all of these things. Group model. Oh, I mean, it shouldn't be group model, it should be group provider. Then let's also require the dot is admin. So let's pass this here. Let's import that. So what we're gonna do is here is just to check if you are not admin. We're going to show snack bar. Let's do show snack bar. So the message is going to be only admins can change group settings. So in the else, so that is done on top. Let's remove that. So but before we navigate, let's do our method group provider dot update group admins. Okay, dot when completed, we are going to navigate now. All right, let's cut that and then paste it there. All right, great. Now inside the group info screen here, you know that we are passing the group provider. We're also passing is admin, so we need to remove this constant keyword here. Sweet. Now let's hot reload. All right, now when we click here, you can see that okay, so it's still not ticked. There is definitely a problem here. Let's hot reload from here. Let's come back. Let's just come back. Let's hot reload from here. Now let's go to our public group. I don't know if we clicked. So now let's get inside. Let's click here. Okay, it shouldn't say you and Fury. Okay, and also it's not ticked. So let's go through this all over again, because this should be showing that we are an admin. Okay, because it's here it's got our name, but it's not ticking, meaning there's something now wrong inside our group settings screen, because we might be missing something that it's also universal, that even the group settings can use it, not only when we are creating a group. Okay, so what we're gonna do is let's go in the group settings screen and then see what is going on there. All right, so where is it? Group settings screen, group settings here. So here, first of all, let's change how we are getting this. So here we shouldn't be directly putting you here. Let's first initialize an empty list. Okay, now here, after we get the list here, now when we are getting the members list here, that's where we should create that map here, where we are creating the map. That's when we can put the number, the u. Okay, so before we go to this method here to go ahead and add names, let's remove that. Let's cut it out, and then let's bring it down like that. Okay, now here, that's when we need to return and then check if the UID is equal to a name. So let's return it like that, but first we want to check. Okay, so here we want to check if group admin uid is, if this is equal, yeah, corporate. Now it has seen what we want to do. If this is going to equal to our current user, so we need to get the current user ID here. Okay, so context.read. So first let's get the current user ID. So let's see, do we have it up here? We don't have that current user ID. We need to get it and then compare it. Okay, so what we can do is inside this method, let's pass the current user ID. So required string, we're going to pass that current user ID, or we can pass the entire user module, but we don't have to. So let's pass the current user ID, or I just like to call it UID. Okay, so if this group admin.uid is equals to UID, we are going to say u, else we are going to put that name, but we don't even need to split it. It's just name like that. Okay, the way we were calling it. Okay, just like that. We don't need to split it. If the current user.uid is equals to our ID, we are going to return u, else we are going to get group admin.name. So that's how we are going to do it there. And then here it's going to be the same, here is going to be the same. Now here we need to check. Now instead of doing this dot first, here also we can just say u. Okay, like that. And then with that we have sorted out one issue. Okay, now the other one is to remain to ticket. So now we have an error down here. We need to pass the current user ID, so we need to pass the UID, which is going to come from it's not going to come from group provider. I'm sure we are initializing our UID somewhere here, or we are not. All right, that's not problem. Let's just say final UID, which is going to equals to it's going to come from authentication provider. So context.read authentication provider .user model.uid. Now here we are just going to pass that UID. All right, like that, and then that error is gone. So let's hot reload and then see if we have sorted out one thing. So if we get inside here, we go to the group settings. Now you can see that we no longer have view and thing, we just have view. Now we just need to check mark this. Okay, so to check mark that, let's see this bottom sheet. Okay, so you see the reason why I was saying that we also just need to refactor all of these, because we are taking time to look for things here. Okay, so here we are returning this widget, which is a friend widget, but now inside here we are calling group. So let's get inside here and then let's see what we are reading. So if it's the admin view, well, we are getting this admin list, or we are getting this friend. So we need to get this admins list. Okay, so let's go back to group settings. So this is set to true, and then if we come to the friend widget here, since this is true, we should get the admins list. So let's see this admins list. Okay, this admins list, which means that our ID is there, but why is it not getting ticked here? Somewhere we are missing something. Okay, so let's go back to where we are entering the group settings, to this button. Okay, that is on the settings and media. So we are update group admins list. Let's go to this method. So here, first of all, we are clearing it, and then we are calling this group admins list dot add all, and then we are getting the list from this. Okay, so we need to notify the changes here. Let's go back to that method. Is it update group admins list? Yeah, this one. Okay, after it's done, we are notifying the changes. So maybe let's wait for it to complete. Okay, we are already waiting for this method. All right, so what we can do is let's print and then see if we are inside the admins list. Okay, so inside the group, okay, let's go where the tick mark is. Okay, let's go in the widget, and then here on the widget, let's check. So if it is admin view, we are checking members from admin, add member to admins, remove member, remove group admin, and then group member. So everything here is fine. I don't know what's going on here. Okay, This seems to be okay. Now let's come back here. Okay, let's just print. That's where we're going to find where our fault is. So this is what we need to go through, guys, if we are not sure where our error is. So let's go to the group. Where is that screen? Settings and media. So right after we do this, and then we navigate to the group settings screen. So maybe here let's print. Here we want to print the group admins list, okay, before we navigate. Then we will see what we have, because if we are there, then our ID needs to be ticked. So let's hot reload. Now let's bring up the terminal, and then let's get inside there. Then if we click here, so we did not print anything, we are looking at the wrong. Let's check this one. All right, okay. Now I see what the problem is. Okay, this is now clear to me. Everything we are doing here is fine, but we won't be able to get what is ticked here, because here, let me show you. Here we are printing the user model, okay, because it's what we are saving, but this has no identity. Okay, we need to go inside that user model and then create an identifier. Okay, so let's remove this. Everything here is fine. This code is just fine. What we are doing is it won't show us here because there is no identifier. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to stop this video right here, and then in the next one we need to go back to the user model class. Where is that user model class? Models, user model. We need to update this class. Okay, we need to have an identifier for this, because what we are doing is every time we do something in the group provider, like where is that screen which can take us to the group provider really quickly? So here, every time we do anything here to add like a user, a member to the group, we are adding them as a user model. Okay, so inside the user model, you can see when we print that list, it says instant of user model. Everything is saved as instant as user model, so we need to create an identifier. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that in the next video. Thank you guys, and see you in the next video.